Boy, you might want to get that checked.
Girl, it's this jungle. I got the pollen.
Hello.
Hello from the jungle.
I'm Brittany.
I'm Brad.
And we are AudioShelf.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited because this is the first book in a long time we have like fangirled over.
Yes, and actually enjoyed.
Yes. Oh, so tell them what the book is.
The book is When I Was You, a thriller by Minka Kent.
Oh, Minka Kent. She's a new author for us.
Yes, she is. I kept getting her confused with Minka Kelly.
The actress from Friday Night Lights.
Yeah. It was narrated by Erin deWard and Will Damron.
Oh my God. I cannot wait to talk about the narration.
Oh, I'm so excited. And the audiobook was about 8.5 hours. So it was your classic thriller length, had all the thrills, had all the chills. It was there.
Mm-hmm. All right. So first of all, this book was under 300 pages, which was miraculous.
Insanity.
Miraculous.
Given how much happens in this book, the fact that it was under 300.
It just goes to show how well it was written.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I am so excited for more from this author.
Yes.
But let's talk about the narration. Let's just get it out there.
Yes, let's talk.
So Erin deWard is I'm so excited.
You go.
Erin deWard is freaking phenomenal.
So good.
She made me feel so many feelings. Like, for instance, when the main character, who is Brienne, whatever she was going through, whatever emotion that she had.
Oh, wait. We should explain the book.
We should. Oh, shit. So, explain the book.
Okay. This book is about Brienne, who is, she suffered from a traumatic brain injury after being assaulted about 6 months to a year prior to the events that are happening in the book. So she has amnesia and memory loss associated with that attack. And she also is very much like afraid of pretty much living now. She takes pepper spray, small tools on her keychain. She doesn't go anywhere with her friends anymore. She doesn't even have any friends. She has a roommate named Niall who stays with her in order to make her feel protected, that she put an ad for after her attack, and is living in this big old house.
Yeah.
She has money from her grandparents. She doesn't know her mom.
But the spicy thing is, she finds someone, she don't know who it is, but someone has stolen her life.
Yes.
Someone has stolen her identity, her persona, and now she needs to figure out who it is.
Yes. And so she goes on this like detective hunt for what is happening, and some like twisty things happen. Like that's seriously just like the first like 1/8 of the book. Is just this like identity theft and figuring out what happened in her attack. That's not even the meat of the book. So now we can move on to the narration.
Here we go. So Erin deWard is freaking phenomenal.
So good.
Every emotion that she had, literally I felt with her. There was moments where she was like laughing or like smirking, and I could feel it. Every time she sighed, she was like, and I was like, oh my God, me too, girl. Me too.
Her narration for Niall is probably it's in my top 5 of female narrated male characters. Like, just the talent that this woman has to make Niall seem like this. God, his voice was amazing.
Oh my God, yes. And Will Damron, he can get it. I'll be honest.
Okay, hold up though, because when he stepped on the scene as Niall, like halfway through the book, you suddenly get this like second narrator I wanted to kill him because his voice was the exact voice of Niall in my head. Like,
Yeah.
if I were just reading this book, his voice that he does for Niall, which might be just his normal speaking voice, was perfection. I wanted to punch him in the dick. I did. I hated him so much.
Oh my God. Yes, he did. He had this like this chauvinistic, like, you know, arrogant voice to him. He's like, I'm Niall. I'm a doctor.
Yeah. But then
That was nothing what it sounded like.
No. But it was so funny how in Kate/Brienne's narration point of view of it, Niall's voice is just so comforting.
Yeah.
And charming. And
he made me
beautiful.
feel safe. He made me feel safe.
Yes. And then Will hops in here and we get the real deal going on.
He is like, that bitch.
Yes.
I'm like, what the hell? What the hell?
And this isn't even like really a twist because like a lot of reviews like say of this book, it's kind of obvious like from the beginning of like what's happening here. And we're not going to say it out loud. We're just going to silently mention things.
Yeah.
But it kind of is obvious what happens in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm. I like this book because, you know, I think I said this in my Goodreads review. I don't really like books that give me the twist in the middle of the book.
Yeah.
However, I do like them when they are done well.
Yes.
And Minka Kent really knew how to deliver the twist, but also follow it up with emotion and plot and story and even more things that I wanted to continue reading about.
Exactly. And I think that is the point of a good thriller. It's not to leave you with just like, well, why did they do this? Like, that was so stupid. Like, what happened here? It's to take you on a journey. It's not to make you feel like Sherlock Holmes trying to solve things and really like crack the case. It's to take you through this emotional journey that we are following with our main character who may or may not be unreliable. Mm-hmm. It's just fun.
Yeah. So speaking of Goodreads and reviews, you have your thoughts.
I do have my thoughts. So this comes back to the content of the book. I feel like I'm going to talk a lot during this video. So please hop in through your jungle whenever you feel the need.
Well, you just finished it. So I finished it a week ago. So like you're like all hot and bothered. Okay.
I never do that again with those leaves in front of you. You're looking like Adam and Eve put together.
Girl, it's Adam and Steve.
What if Eve wanted to get a piece of Steve? Would Steve have her? Would Steve have her?
Ew, girl, it's gonna be 3 of me, okay?
Okay, yeah. Let's open up the realm here.
3 and Eve.
That would be a new dating website. Okay, so anyway, I just finished this book like 20 minutes ago. So I was reading some Goodreads reviews, and we talked about this in our Instagram Live today. And one of the like first reviews says, go to the cops. Ugh, why am I talking like that?
What was that?
I don't know what
Corpse.
that was. That was my like British, Quebecian, whatever. The first review says, go to the cops, go to the cops, go to the cops. My thing is, did this person read this novel or are they talking about a different book entirely? Because
no.
Brienne tries to go to the cops. We have her like mental map of why she's afraid of the cops. And it's because they did her wrong and did not really give her the comfort that I feel a lot of people experience when they try to go to the police.
Well, yeah. I mean, I also say this gives some societal context about how we treat our female victims.
Yes. And so they didn't believe her. They just kind of were like, yeah, we'll let you know if we have any updates, but there's nothing right now. So you go home. And she even made mention that the main detective on the case for her attack was more concerned with sports scores, than actually solving her case. And so she doesn't go to the cops because she has a mistrust in them, which I feel like a lot of people can identify with.
Correct.
Second thing is she then tries to go to a PI detective to figure out who... A PI detective, that's like redundant, She tries to go to a PI to figure out who the person is that stole her identity, but he laughs at her. Like on the phone, thinks that she is like pulling his leg. So she's like, okay, I have no one. I have to rely on myself.
Mm-hmm.
So then this review goes on, one mistakenly saying she doesn't go to the cops or please go to the cops or whatever. DNF'd it at 40%.
Bitch.
If you DNF'd it, that means you did not finish it. So you did not see what the conclusion was when everything went down. You didn't even make it to the halfway point in the book.
You didn't see the conclusion, so you shouldn't comment.
Exactly. And yeah, there are some times that we would not finish a book or we would leave a review that was like, man, I got to the last few pages and I had to put this one down. But that is still a thing where we still tried and explored with the characters. We did not just say, go to the cops. Like, you must be a freaking thrill to go and watch a movie with. And I said that before and I'll say it again. You are a carnival of fun if you just tell somebody in a thriller movie or a horror movie, go to the cops. Where's the plot? Where's the plot gonna go? How's the story gonna move?
The sarcasm.
Jeez, I'm getting sweaty.
You know what else really pissed me off about that review?
What?
They said they had but the thing that they did is that they allowed the community to comment on how horrible this book was, and all of them said they didn't finish it either.
Yeah.
So I was like, you're promoting this idea of, oh, it's okay to not finish a book but talk shit about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not okay. And then also one of the little twerps that commented on there said, oh, this was an Amazon first read, and that was basically a waste of time. Bullshit. You are lucky you got this as an Amazon first read, bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of people in that thread who are just like, either thank you so much for this review, it saves me from having to read it, to I didn't finish it either. I got 12% in and then I put it down and this was such a waste of time. What's a waste of time to some people will not be a waste of time to other people.
Yes.
Like us. We really enjoyed this.
5 stars.
Yes. Because it felt like a classic thriller. It didn't need like extra fluff. It was well plotted out. You could see, and it was explained to you why the characters that are doing the wrong things are doing the wrong thing.
Yeah. I knew you were going to like this book.
Yes, I really liked it.
I knew it. Because, you know, it was funny because you were texting me. You were like live texting me your reactions. And I love that because I'm like, and then, you know, you go through this roller coaster where like, oh my God, he better get what he gets and he better get what he deserves. And, oh, he's going to do this and she's going to do that. And I'm like, oh my God, I love it. And that's what a book is supposed to make you do, especially a thriller book.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I meant by like, you go through the journey with a thriller. It's not there to teach you some like deep-seated lesson. It's there for fiction. We are reading fiction. We are not reading the actual 911 first responder caller log of someone's incident. This is fiction.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to suspend your belief. If you're not going to suspend your belief, then books are probably not the place for you.
Yeah.
Or at least not fiction. Maybe nonfiction. Anyway, so more on the content. It's very well thought out. It's very well played.
Mm-hmm.
Our main character is smart, in my opinion.
Very smart.
She has a traumatic brain injury, so she is looked at as a little bit weaker in the beginning, but you can really see that growth. And I just loved the character of Sam.
Oh my God, I love Sam. I was so scared because you were like, oh, Sam, this stupid idiot. But then you realize, she's redeemable.
Yes,
Ugh.
exactly. And it was through this whole entire process that it allowed her to see how much she is worth. Because there's a great deal of like, you don't really see it, you don't really witness it, but you get the sense that there is a lot of emotional, mental, and not so much physical abuse, but the first two definitely. There's a lot
hands
of
down.
gaslighting. There's a lot of like just
Manipulation.
Yes, for the character of Sam. And so it's an interesting character because in one aspect, you don't feel sorry for her because it's like, you're the fall guy. Like, you signed up for this. You're the reason you can't get a job now because you took the fall for somebody and spent time in prison for this person. Like, you had nothing to do with it. You are a sweet character, yet you thought that it was a good idea. You didn't see this person for who they were. Her naivete was just a little too much for me in the beginning of her character introduction, but by the end she has a really great journey, just like our main character.
And as a bad guy for Niall, you know, I think, tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the author said in there at some point, hurt people hurt people.
Yes.
And it's funny because like you can stand back and say, wow, Niall has been through this horrible life. He's been through this, you know, horrible childhood and upbringing, and his parents didn't love him, blah, blah, blah. And he's kind of pulling in Sam because he's like, we grew up together. Like we are endgame because you've been through the same thing I've been through.
Yeah.
However, and I get that. And I think that this was the point that Minka Kent was trying to make, is that there comes a point where you have to take the acceptance and you have to take the credit for the bad decisions that you've done. And I really think watching Niall go through that and still not accepting what he's done, that just makes him a really good bad guy.
He was such a good bad guy. There was nothing redeemable about him, which is what I thought the author was trying to do at the beginning, was trying to redeem him a little bit by being like, by saying hurt people, and by giving us his background of a character. But it really did nothing but enforce this, no, you're wrong, because Sam had the exact same background as him, if not worse, from an abuse standpoint, a physical being abused and probably sexually abused standpoint. And she is the sweetest character we've seen in a thriller pages that does not end up in some sort of dire situation.
You know, another minor character, a couple of them that I really thought did an amazing job kind of adding to the plot were the doctors and the nurses and the nursing staff.
Oh my God, Brian was like one of my favorite characters. He was annoying AF. He would piss me off in any other real life situation, but he was great.
He was great. He was like, so you got kids?
Yeah.
You got a wife?
Let me see him.
How you afford that car, honey?
What are you doing with this driver's license? This isn't your name. I know you. I work for the police reserves. Hello.
I love Brian was so good. I was like, get him, Brian. Get him, Brian.
Oh my God. So good. So
and then I also like the doctor, because the doctor immediately, yes, of course, he was there to treat his patient. But once Kate / Brienne was like, this is what's happening, the doctor was like, you know what? It makes sense. And let's go with your gut.
Yes. That was, oh my God. Everything in this book just really worked from a standpoint of like reader satisfaction. Like, it was not your typical thriller that like, actually it kind of was your typical good thriller. You felt bad for the character, but you didn't know what you could trust with the character in the beginning. And then you have this climax part, and then you have the character learning, and then you have the character like executing, not literally, but just like actually taking matters into their own hands and their life in their own hands and doing what she needed to do. Because at the end, the character does go to the cops. She mentions in the middle that she should go, but they're just going to push her off again. Like, she reminds us, and then at the end she actually does. She follows through and she does things the correct way. I could see this playing out in my head of, I would probably do the same exact thing as her. Like, it was great.
So long story short, we love this book. We're gonna shelf it completely. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Definitely gonna shelf.
And we would love to hear what everyone else thinks about this book. Like, if you read this, comment below and let us know. If you haven't, pick it up.
Yeah. And if you didn't like it, please let us know too. Like, what didn't you like about it? What didn't jive with you? Because we are all different readers. And so for us, we loved it, but you might not. And we want to know that too. So please comment down below or follow us on our various social media. We are on Twitter at AudioshelfMe, Instagram at AudioshelfMe, and Facebook at AudioShelf.
Before we end, though, you got to make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that little ring-a-ding-ding button to get notifications.
And also give us a little like if you liked our video, please.
So until next time,
Bye.
bye. Gotta get out of this jungle.